remember how to do this? No. We're gonna try anyway? Yes. Hello, and welcome back to the Once Upon a Corgi Podcast. This is a crafty puppy interrupted podcast coming to you from Southern Connecticut. I am your human host, Gabby, and you can find me everywhere online as Gabigales and Once Upon a Corgi, and on my hand-dyed yarn at onceuponacorgi.com. Welcome to any new viewers, and welcome back any returning viewers. We're alive, we here, and we're trying this again. It is April 25th, 2020. Today was supposed to be Connecticut Sheep and Wool Day. I have not podcasted in over 2 months because of reasons, so here we are. There it is. I have no announcements right now. Today was supposed to be Connecticut Sheep and Wool Day. All my upcoming shows are now kind of on pause for the next 2 months to figure out what's going to happen with everything. Yeah. So let's just get into the making, which I will talk about as we get there. Starting off with what I'm wearing. I'm wearing the Hope Cardigan by Amy Christoffers and the sparkly crop top that Kristin from Bull and Vine showed on an episode, and then it showed up at my house, and I'm not mad. I love it. I am pairing it with a Nits for Pirates pencil skirt. Ta-da, ta-da. I almost wore my sparkly tulle skirt with it, but you can't see it in frame, so. What I've been working on, spoiler alert, it's not been a lot. I'm going to preface this with I just started knitting again within the past week. I have not been able to pick up knitting or sewing or spinning or any crafting of that matter up until very recently. This whole pandemic quarantine thing hit me harder than I thought it would. I'll go more into that in the Beyond Crafting section. So I don't have a ton to show. That being said, I may throw in some pictures of what I made for the wedding. I may not. I may just make that. I just might not do that at all because there's so many things. It would just be 10 minutes of me going, here's a photo, here's a photo, here's a photo. So that's boring. All right. I left the dog collars on. I don't know why. That was a terrible plan. I have a finished object. I have a finished thing. All right. I have a finished object. It is the French Macaron Pullover. I forgot the name of the designer. I'll put it in the show notes. This is for a friend of mine is due in July and her baby shower is now in June, but I think I'm just going to mail her a gift basket of goodies. They are having a little baby boy, so I made this guy. I'm in the awkward stage of bangs right now. I don't want to cut them. I don't know if I'm growing them out. Hold on, bud. This dark blue section is Depths Below from Once Upon a Corgi and Until We Meet Again from Skeiny Dipping held together. And then this top section is Stormborn from Madeline Tosh held with my Earl Grey colorway. And then this section is just Depths Below. I used fingering weight scraps held double to make this bad boy. I did the 6 to 9 month size since the baby's due in June. That kid's not going to need sweaters until at least December. And I don't have a button picked out for it yet. I have to go through my button stash, but it's done. It's there. You can definitely see it on camera. I ran out of yarn, so I think I have some La Bien Aimée mixed in here instead of Until We Meet Again. My voice is, oh God. Oh, that sounds terrible. I ran out of Until We Meet Again for the last 1.5 inches, so I believe this is some La Bien Aimée Night's Watch. I could be mistaken. I don't know. It was scrap my friend sent me. So this is my only finished object since, when did I last podcast? Like March 3rd? Yeah, not a lot of knitting going on. But it is done. It is blocked. Again, I just need to pick out buttons for it. And I do have a list of baby knits I want to work on for her. Now that I have a pair of socks, burpee bibs, and this sweater done, if I don't get them all done by like the baby shower date, I'm not going to put any pressure on myself. Again, the kid can't wear knits until at least maybe October, if we're lucky. So I have plenty of time to work on that list for them. Can I help you? Do you have a finished object? So, works in progress. Do you have a tennis ball to show them? Go get a tennis ball to show them. I will show them the tennis ball. I'm podcasting. I know it's been a long time. You already talked to people today, Mom. All right, works in progress in order of the length of time they've been cast on. Starting with this oldie but goodie. It's not even that old. It's not. This is the Stoker Shawl by Kristin Lehrer, or Villain Vine Yarns. And this is out of my Isaac DK, which is a Polworth silk blend. And this is the Stoker Shawl. And the colorway is Purred from An Advent of Woolen Minis. I am in the cabley lace section. Ta-da! I think I'm about halfway through with this. I'm on the 3rd ball of yarn and I love it. It's so scrumptious. It's such a good knit. I've been working on it on Tuesdays during my Tuesday night Zoom knit group now, because that is our life, is just Zoom everything. And it's interesting enough that I don't get bored with it, but it's easy enough that I can still talk to people and interact on the computer while working on it. I am using Quick Refresher US 6 4mm needles for my Knit Pro Zing sets, and it is living in my witchy knitting bag. I can't wait to have this done now that it's almost getting warm out and I can't really wear shawls, but my forever joke is now I can wear it in the window while I wait for my long lost husband to return from work. Because I'm basically a sea captain's widow, you know, obviously in my apartment in a parking lot in Milford. It's my life now. That's my life. So this is such a good knit. I enjoy it so much. It's giant and I love giant triangle shawls. I am in love with this base. I love the colorway. It's kind of everything I need right now to bring the knitting back into my life, which is what I wanted. There's been a lot of guilt around not knitting, and a lot of just getting over that. Like, if I'm not into knitting right now, I'm not into knitting. Don't force it. It will come back to you. Oh guys, I hit myself in the face. So this is whip number 1. What did I do? I have no deadline for it, so I'm just letting it be. I mean, I've been pretty lax on most of the things I knit anyway, so yeah. I'll be excited to wear it around the house. I'm very excited for the tassels though. The next, I don't know if I actually had this cast on from the last podcast. I know I talked about it. I think I might have just cast it on. I am working on, this is going to be Rhinebeck House Sweater. So maybe a Rhinebeck sweater for my house. The City Limits by Samantha Guerin Designs. She is a friend of mine and we all knit the shady side last year for Rhinebeck. So we had a shady side house photo. So this year, everyone in the house is going to knit the City Limits. And I got the Harrisville Nightshades in the Fever colorway. It is all dog hair all the time. And I have completed the chart. I did do most of this on the plane ride to and from Florida. Mostly to. The plane ride home from Florida was a little bit more nerve-wracking / couldn't really concentrate on anything, so I just tried to sleep the whole time. So I did get a good chunk of this done either in the airport or on the plane, and then slowly worked through it here during some knit groups. I love it. I love this panel, and it's just stocking it all the way until you split for the arms, and it's just easy peasy. I'm excited. It will be slightly cropped. I think I'm just going to bring it to the top of my hips, because as of right now, if this was going to be a cropped, I would already be splitting for the sleeves. So my goal, I think, is for it to end about here. So I'm pretty much at I've got a couple inches to go. I don't like long sweaters. Are you having fun? Iron's just rolling around the bed making snorty noises, throwing a blanket, giving me crazy eyes. I know, but you're so bored, I'm sorry. But you're so cute. Yeah, I love this pattern. I love the way this is knitting up. For a while I was just taking my knitting out and trying not to force myself to work on stuff, but I would just sit there and squish this, so that was very pleasant. I do want to make so many things in Nightshades. Jake wants a sweater in Nightshades, and I'm 100% here for it. I know I said no more cable giant man sweaters, but if it's Nightshades, I'll do it. He even picked his out at Rhinebeck. We just have to find him a pattern. I think we're gonna do the Guernsey sweater that Mina designed of the Knitting Expat, because I really want to knit that, and I think that'd look really good in his Nightshades color. I think he picked VCR, which is the green one. So that is WIP number 2. Slowly moving. It's in Stockinette City now, so I might switch this to my knit group knitting. I don't know. We'll see. And it is in my B Madder Root bag. The only bags I use at this point. And the last thing I am working on, my final active WIP. This is a new cast on. Long story short, I got an email from one of the mills saying that if their state got a stay-at-home order, they don't know if they would be able to go to work because yarn mills are not considered an essential business. So I panic ordered a bunch of yarn, not even from that company, just a totally different company, and ended up ordering the wrong weight. So I meant to order my Isaac base, which is 100% superwash Polworth and fingering weight, and I ended up ordering 100% superwash in DK weight instead. So we had a fun little new DK weight that everybody really liked, so it might come back as a regular. So I did keep a couple skeins for myself of the PolDK, because somebody said every time they saw it, they just thought of Poldark. So PolDK, get it? I know, they're funny. I'm funny, it's fine. I'm going insane. So I scoured Ravelry for days trying to find a DK weight pattern that spoke to me for a pullover. I wanted a pullover, I wanted a sweater. I just needed to get back into, just needed something to pull me back into knitting. So I found this pattern called Enchanted Forest by Nits with Chocolat. She is a French designer. I've never seen any of her work before. I'm baffled that I've never seen it. Her stuff is gorgeous. So I cast it on in Hello Witchling and Ravishing, and it's a little messy to see right now because I'm kind of in the middle of the repeats, but as you can kind of start to see, it's got this leaf. It's 2-color cables with this leaf motif over the chest, and then right under the bust it goes straight to stockinette. It's a crop sweater. It's a yoked crop sweater with a little bit of color work and cables. It's interesting. I have to pay attention to it. It's exactly what I needed to kind of just draw my mind out of where it's been, and I can't watch the news or anything while I knit this, so that's really good. I did, however, start watching The Witcher while while knitting this. So I got to here, realize I did it all wrong, and then I had to rip it all out and start over. But it was worth it. Every second was worth it. So this has just been kind of the perfect thing that I needed. It didn't totally bring back my knitting mojo, but it has helped. It made me want to pick up other projects. I enjoy it. I am knitting this on US 7 4.5 millimeter Knit Pro Zings, and I will show you the cakes. I'm really enjoying this base. I do love my Isaac DK. It's a non-superwash. It's so squidgy, but it does come on cones. It's why I have to wind every skein. These come skeined up. They're superwash. I can do more colors on them, so this PolDK is just really stealing my heart. Here are the cakes. I just love them together so much. It's dark, it's moody, it's everything I need it to be. I have realized that the past like 5 sweaters I've knit though are out of like a burgundy red, so I need to stop and bring in some other colors, like more grays and blacks apparently. I don't know. I'm falling into a trend. What's happening? I need mustard yellow. I need more mustard yellow. They're just so, it's just been such a good knit. I am very excited for this. I'm so excited. I also just am excited to have a new designer. I don't know what else of hers I would knit. I don't think a lot of it is my aesthetic for wearing, but I love how it looks. I will definitely be linking her like Ravelry page along with this pattern in the show notes because her work is stunning. Took me to like page 20 of Ravelry to find her. I was pleasantly surprised. And this is in my Phases of the Moon Madder Root bag because Madder Root life is my whole life. Yeah, other than that, I've been sewing masks. I haven't really been sewing for myself. I have been sewing masks for friends and some family members, and I was sending them off to Yale to distribute to people who needed them, but Yale is no longer accepting the handmade masks. So I've kind of slowed down on making masks. I did make Jake a Marvel one, and I made myself a Disney princess one out of the fabric from my Disney princess dress. Oh, I finished that. Should I get that? I'll wear it next time. Don't let me forget. And yeah, we've been using hair ties as elastic because elastic's pretty hard to come by, and I haven't been able to find twill tape anywhere. And if I have to make any more bias tape, I'm going to iron my hand off. So no more bias tape. Not making that ever again in my life. Ever. And that's really been my sewing. I tried to pick up the Robe Bluet, this cursed dress. All the gods help all of its souls. It's cut out. I just don't have the heart to sew it. So I put it in my fabric trunk just to protect it from cat hair, because that is where the cat sleeps during the day. I've already caught him. He stole one of my, he stole my branches and bud sweater and made a bed out of it, so I have to rewash that before I put it away for the season again. And yeah, just not a lot. The sewing inspiration's kind of coming back. I've got some ideas I want to do. I just haven't had the energy or the want to sit down and do it. A lot of stuff is still out for making masks, so my sewing area is also right over there. That's why I keep looking this way. It's a disaster, so that might be why. So I don't have any future makes as of right now or crafting goals. I'm just kind of letting this as I feel it, do it kind of thing. I don't want to put any pressure on myself. It'll come back. The making will come back. It's a very weird time. I didn't think I would react this way, but here we are. That's it. So the rest of this is shop update and beyond crafting. If you're not here for any of that and just want to see what I am making, thank you so much for coming back. And if you are interested in either of those things, let's go. So there's no shop update this week or probably next week. I am working on the pre-orders from An Advent of Woolen Minis Book 2. The first color, I forgot how long it takes to dye, so that took me a little bit longer than I anticipated. But I'm just going to, you know, keep up with the slightly smaller shop updates. With less colors, more yarn of each color kind of situation, so more sweater quantities. It's been working out really well. Keep an eye out on the newsletter and Instagram, which I have been neglecting horribly, for more information. Thank you so much to everybody who did shop the pre-order. I know it did not come out at a very opportune time, but we set that date in January. Ugh. Who knew? Most of the world knew. All right, beyond crafting. So this is everything that I've been up to besides crafting, which is most of what this podcast is going to be. A quick recap. I will also link to it. Jake and I did get married on March 13th. Everything went as planned. That was supposed to. The CDC announced the day before that groups of 250 or more would not be allowed. We had maybe 100. I think that day they announced like more than 100 were allowed, and then the next day they announced more than 50 or 10 were allowed. So we really snuck in under the wire. We did change some things, like the food situation, we did change that up so people weren't touching the same servingware. We switched to not a plated dinner, but like a half plated dinner. It was supposed to be a buffet. It went great. It was the best day we could have asked for. Everything went smoothly. I've never been more chill in my life. Zero stress. We did find out the Thursday before that Disney was closing on Sunday, and Disney was our honeymoon, as many of you know. So we immediately flew down to Florida because we couldn't. The dogs are a little stir crazy. Somebody walked by, therefore the alarm must be sound. Where was I? Yeah, we couldn't really get out of our hotel situation, so we figured at that point we thought it would be okay to go down to Florida. We'll just try to go to Disney the one day and then just kind of hang out at the resort for the rest of the time. Things did escalate quickly, as many of you know. So we flew down Saturday. Sunday we went to Galaxy's Edge, Universal. Or no, we did Galaxy's Edge, then Hollywood Studios, because they're kind of the same thing, and then Universal to go to Harry Potter Land. And then we went back to Magic Kingdom for the afternoon / dinner. We realized we could have gone to Epcot if we went to Epcot before Magic Kingdom. We just smashed in as many parks as we possibly could. We had one day and we already had the tickets for everything. So we're like, you know, we're just going to do it. So we did Universal, we did Harry Potter Land, we did a lot. I did post some of it on Instagram. We got to meet 4 princesses because I had princesses on my dress. I didn't get to meet, I guess technically I'm at 5. I didn't get a picture with Belle because they didn't warn me that you have to be in the play to get a picture with her. Jake said I should have gone. I was like, no, this is for children. I can't go. It's for children. No, I should have gone next time. Yeah, so we did that for one day, and then Sunday night they announced that Disney Springs was closing as well, but that wasn't closing until Monday night. So we went down thinking we wouldn't get to go to anything, and we got the one day at all the parks, and then we did Disney Springs on Monday, so we got to go to the 2 restaurants that we really wanted to go to and did some shopping. Not a ton. It was still crowded. It was not as crowded as I thought it would be, but it was still a lot of people. And then Tuesday, we figured we'll just hunker down for the rest of the week. Our flight was originally for Saturday or Sunday. I don't even remember. And then Tuesday, we were going around there was 4 restaurants on the property that we were on, and we went to one for lunch. And we were kind of talking about our game plan, and the bartender came over we were going to order one more drink and then leave. So she made us drinks to go because it was on the resort, so we could just walk around with them. And she said to order everything that you want now because everything has to close at 5, and they're only doing like delivery pizza after 5 p.m. So they were shutting down everything in the restaurant or in the resort. So we decided it would just be better to fly home on Wednesday. We were also nervous we heard states were shutting down, and I think that Tuesday or that Wednesday, they actually closed a major airport because one of the traffic controllers tested positive, so we were afraid we would be able to fly into anywhere or like get through an airport, and we had a friend pick us up, so we didn't want to make it weird for them. So we were considering driving back. It was just a whole thing. So we just thought it would be the safest bet to fly home on Wednesday. So we flew on my birthday, and the flight attendants gave me a little birthday card, which was super sweet. And Jake's friends greeted us at the airport with an "It is your birthday" sign and cake, and a little like 4-pack of little baby bottles of wine. So that was that. And then Jake immediately ended up having to go back to work, which brings us to now here we are. I think we're 40 days later. The whole quarantine thing just hit me harder than I thought it would. So for the first 2 weeks, I didn't knit anything, didn't sew anything, didn't want to craft, I still can't, it was bad. I still haven't read anything. I carry Crescent City around the house with me. It's here, right here. But I just haven't had the heart to read yet, which breaks my heart because I'm so excited for that book. I just can't do it. So what I've been up to, not crafting wise, one of the things that's keeping me sane, this is kind of how I've been getting through this situation, is the Here For You podcast. It is run by Kate and Dory from the Forever 35 podcast, which I absolutely love. So they do a daily podcast just to check in with each other and you, and people call in and, with their dilemmas or what they're doing to stay okay, and they give you a word of the day and an activity. Sometimes the activity is screaming into a pillow or dancing. So, it's a fun little check-in. It helps me figure out what day of the week it is because I have no idea anymore. My day-to-day has not changed that much. I work from home anyway. It just threw me for a loop. I've also got Animal Crossing, as many people have, and I love it. So my lunchtime to early afternoon routine is to go check in on all my flowers and sell all my fruits and do all that kind of fun stuff. And then I check in again at 8 p.m. to go hunt spiders for my nightly spider hunt. I'm very bad at it. I just scream the whole time, and I had one chase me for the first time, and it was terrifying. Pure fear everywhere. Yeah, I hopped on the Animal Crossing bandwagon. Also, The Sims 4, I did re-download that. I loved The Sims growing up and everything about it, so I did re-download The Sims 4, and I've got, I think, 6 expansions now because they've been on sale, and I love it. And I just spend my nights... We also got... I think we got like 5 games for the Switch. We did some heavy hunting to find that thing. So while Jake plays Zelda, there we go, I can picture it. When Jake plays Zelda, I just build houses on The Sims, and I love it. I just made a Tudor cottage. I have 2 witches' huts. I made a modern farmhouse, very Pinteresty. I'm working on an off-the-grid tiny home now. That's my newest project. I'm building The Sims. I'm really getting back into computer games, and I'm okay with it. It's a lot of fun. I love The Sims. And I have started a sourdough starter. I named him Drake because he started from the bottom. Now he's here. Here's not very high up, but he's working on it. We get like half an inch rise in the past day or 2, so he's going. It's happening. This is the second time I've tried this in the past 4 years. How long have we been in quarantine? Where I'm not at bread stage, I did make sourdough popovers with the discard because being the weird hoarder kind of person I am, I feel bad getting rid of the discard, but there's not much you can do about it. It's starter. And I don't eat enough things to make something every single day while I'm prepping him to go in the fridge. So yeah, that's what I've been doing besides crafting. It's been a lot of watching Parks and Rec and Community and just lighthearted, obviously the Obvious, lighthearted TV shows, kind of just balance myself out. It hit me harder. I don't know what happened. I'm not gonna beat myself up over it. That's just how it is. I just think it was a lot of things happening at once. Jake is still at work. We were very nervous about that. The dining rooms are closed, as most states are right now, so they are doing only like curbside and driver pickup kind of thing, but he works 6 days a week, so it's really been hard on him too, and I think that's part of it. Like, we got married and then I haven't seen him since. But when he does have a day off, we are having fancy days. So one day I wore my wedding dress all day. The next time he wore his wedding suit all day, and we just made fancy cocktails and played video games in our classiest outfits. We did get to go on a hike on Monday. I have 2 months to catch up on, Jesus Christ. With the pups, the Housatonic overlook in Orange. So that was a lot of fun. That, killed maybe 2 hours, but we got out of the house, we got moving, the dogs were okay. I think they're hurting the most in this because they don't get their weekly play session with Penny. And they're so bored on their walks. We get to like the corner where we have to decide right or left, and they just sit down and go home. They're like, no, I'm done. I can't. If I have to sniff this stupid tree one more time, I'm done. So yeah, that's not, mostly ramblings. Not a lot of crafting. Yeah, we did post the wedding preview video on the channel for everyone to see. The wedding video itself is 38 minutes long. I'm debating if I'm going to put it up on YouTube or not. Jake said we should. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if anyone wants to sit through 38 minutes of that. I do have a couple other videos planned to go up. I told myself I can't post them until I podcast. So now I've podcasted, so I think now I can post them. They're for the first dance. So with that, I will let you go. Thank you so much for watching, and a couple of people did reach out and asked if I was going to podcast again and to like kind of check in, and so thank you to everybody who has reached out and is supporting the shop and still shopping small. It's a weird time, so stay safe, wash your hands, and I'm gonna try and see you next week wearing the princess dress. That's the goal. I might do like a Q&A thing with Jake for the wedding. Probably not, because he only gets 1 day off a week. I don't think he wants to spend it in front of a camera with me. We'll see. But if you have any other wedding questions, let me know and I'll answer them in the next episode. Right? Sure. Why not? All right. Thank you so much. Goodbye.